What's up, fellow G-fans? I'm Noah, aka Cloverfan98, site staff member of TohoKingdom.com. We're going to get to a nice detailed review of the NECA 12-inch tall or 24-inch head-to-tail Godzilla 2014 figure with sound. So stick around, I think you're going to love it. Alright, so first things first, let's take a look at the box. This box is actually really nice. It's got nice window packaging, some great detail there. The Godzilla mug we've all grown used to. Some may have grown sick of by now, but I love it. I've seen people mention on the forums that this box is very reminiscent of the Jakks figure box. And in some ways it is. It features the same graphics, but every Godzilla 2014 toy features these same graphics. Really, it's just this box is the one that most closely matches the Jakks box in terms of proportion and size. Also, the description on the back is exactly the same as the one on the Jakks and the 6-inch NECA figure. And it features authentic roar sound. Stands over 12 inches tall. Head to tail spans over 24 inches in length. Obviously, this guy is not as big as the Jakks Godzilla. That is still the king as far as 2014 figures go in size. But this is the second biggest 2014 figure ever, and that makes it pretty cool. So, now that we're done looking at the box, which is pretty awesome, we're going to take a look at the figure. As you can tell by the framing of my shot, this guy is big. It's hard to get him into a nice single frame. He's so tall and so long. I have him kind of posed right now with the tail curled out, but if I straighten it, you get a better idea of how long this guy is. I mean, there we go. Pretty long. Again, not as long as the Jakks, but it is the second biggest 2014 figure ever. So, that being said, we're going to get to the articulation, but first, the main selling point, the roar. It is the exact same roar that's featured on the Bandai Creations 2014 Godzilla Atomic Breath Godzilla. But I like this version more. I don't know what it is exactly, but I think this version's roar, for lack of a better word, there's more to it. It sounds longer and like there's more depth and, for lack of a better word, echo to the roar. If that makes any sense. It sounds more fuller than the Bandai Creations one. So bottom line, yeah, this is a fantastic roar. Considering the size of the guy and the price point, I would have liked a little more variation on the roar. I would have liked to have like footsteps, maybe 2 roars. Even though it was significantly, I mean, I have a Hasbro 2003 or 2001 Jurassic Park 3 T-Rex that featured 2 different roars. So I would have loved to have this guy feature 2 different roars, but for what it is, it sounds great. Now we're going to take a look at the articulation. I haven't counted every articulation point on this guy, but if you have the 6-inch, it's basically the same. Arms can move up and down. One thing I've noticed is that the 6-inch, they can kind of flex in and out. This guy's, I don't know if you know, the joints are stuck and I haven't loosened them yet, or if they can't, but right now they can't move in and out, and that's kind of a shame. I really like that joint on the 6-inch one. Arms can bend. Arms can also rotate. Same with the hands. Can bend back and forth and rotate. Again, basically the same as the 6-inch. Same for the feet. No extra joints added here. The figure does also can turn at the waist, kind of move in and out, up and down. That's a really great feature. Yeah, the lighting's much better here, and you can see one of the best features that I'm going to describe after I finish up the articulation. The head and the neck rotate. I think they can rotate fully. I just think the sculpt of the figure prevents it from doing so. Head can turn independently of the neck, even though I am moving the neck. Also, let me zoom in for a better shot. The head can move up and down, which is really sweet. And like the 6-inch, jaw can also open and close. Hopefully with the better lighting you guys can get a look at the detail on this guy. I mean, the scales, it's awesome. The detail on this guy is incredible. And because of the size of this figure, I'm able to appreciate the sculpting on the scales, the lines, everything on this figure. The one most significant area, besides size, that this figure differs from the 6-inch version also put out by NECA is the tail. The 6-inch NECA version, this from like here down, all rubber, but on this guy, all uniquely individually jointed for posing, and it's so much nicer than the rubber tail. I think the rubber tail works great for the smaller figure for 6-inch, but I'm just in love with the articulation on this tail. You can do so many cool poses with the tail, move it back and forth, and it's so much easier to pose than the rubber tail. I have to kind of like fight the rubber tail to get it to bend, and it always feels kind of disjointed from this part on the 6-inch, but this tail, I mean, it just flows so nice. The joints look great. Also, this kind of armored carapace or armored scales on the tail really help hide the articulation joints in the design. I kind of am more impressed by this than the tail articulation on the very first SH Monster Arts Godzilla figure. It just feels really cool. Because of the scale of this figure, I feel like I'm able to appreciate a lot of details and design on it so much more than I was able to on the 6-inch, particularly the head. The head on the 6-inch one looks very small to me. This guy looks great. I think the head looks even better here than the 6-inch, and I don't know if they blew up the head bigger or if just the overall size of the figure makes it much easier to read and see than the 6-inch. Personally, myself, I am insanely impressed with this figure. This figure is gorgeous, and on its own, I think this figure rates 5 out of 5 stars. But if you've been reading the forums, if you've been reading the Toho Kingdom discussion about this guy, NECA has had some problems with the quality control on this figure, and it's affected my figure just a little bit. I want to show you guys this. I don't know if you can really tell, but the scales are warped just a little bit. I've been able to fix them with the hair dryer trick, but like the smaller dorsal ones on his back, not his tail, are warped, as you can see. And when I got him out of the box, I thought to try and bend the fins back. I don't know if you can see, but there's stress marks from where I did that. This material is very soft, and I've already got white stress marks just from doing this. So that's pretty bad. And fortunately, you know, praise God, my figure actually is probably the least warped out of all the figures I've seen online. I've seen figures with far worse warped tails, or fins actually, rather than the tail. But I mean, my figure was shipped to me in the middle of a hot Texas summer, so that I gotta put that in there as a disclaimer. For me personally, again, I give this guy 5 out of 5 stars. I'm in love with him. I think he's gorgeous. He looks great. He sounds great. He moves great. I don't know if I showed you guys the leg articulation. I just want to be complete. So, there you go. This guy is amazing. And he is the centerpiece of my 2014 collection. If you can get this guy, like I said, from a reputable site, do it. This guy rocks. I'm Noah Percival for TohoKingdom.com, and I give the NECA 24-inch head-to-tail, her 12-inch tall, roaring Godzilla figure, 5 out of 5 stars. Stay tuned to TohoKingdom.com for more exclusive reviews, interviews, podcasts, and all kinds of Godzilla-related goodies. Thanks very much, guys.